Jiggy cat on a damn feeling spree. This is Nagato, and you can't mimic my energy. 100 rounds drawn, and me hanging like a centipede. Hey everyone, it's me Nagato's Adventure. Hope you guys are having an awesome day for today, and as the title states, I'm going to be starting my new PlayStation 2 modding tutorial series. So the first video we're going to be talking about today is how to play classic PlayStation 2 games off a USB via using OPL 0.9.3, which is the latest build as I am recording this, or the official latest build I should say. But with that being all out the way, let's go ahead and get started on today's prerequisites, and anything I do state will be in the link in the description down below, of course. So first things first, you already need a soft modded PlayStation 2 that already has FreeMcBoot installed. If you guys don't know what FreeMcBoot is, basically it's an exploit which you can install on your PlayStation 2's memory card or on your hard drive if you have like the PlayStation 2's HDD adapter, which you could basically allow, unsigned code to be run on your PlayStation 2. So you guys could always pick up a FreeMcBoot memory card off of eBay or something like that. I will have that in the link in the description down below. But make sure your PS2 is soft modded for this process. You also need a PlayStation 2 memory card. You also need the latest build of OPL, which is Open PS2 Loader. So when in the future, if you're watching this, there may be a later build or a new daily build, just go ahead and download that one. You'll also need WinRar to extract our content out for today. You also need any compatible PlayStation 2 game. So most games will work for this process, but later on in the video I'll show a compatibility list, because not all games can run off the USB and some of them have like lagging issues and stuff like that. You also need OPL Manager for CoverArt. This is optional, but if you want a more official look for OPL, I do recommend for this. And as well, we're going to need a program called Defraggler, which when you install your PlayStation 2 ISOs, you basically need to run your ISO through this program, so when you put it on your USB, it doesn't come up with any errors in OPL. With all of that fun stuff getting out the way, let's go ahead and get started on the PC side of things. Alrighty guys, assuming that you did follow all the prerequisites as stated in the intro, let's go ahead and get started on the PC side of things first. So what you need to do as of right now is have a game of choice that you want to test. Today I'm going to be showcasing Kingdom Hearts 2 since it's one of my favorite PlayStation 2 games. You also need Defraggler, and this is what it will look like. I will have this as well in the link in the description down below. It will say DF setup, and you'll need OPL Manager version 2.116. This is where we're going to get our cover art from, and I already made a USB PS2 prep.zip, and I'll explain a little bit more about this, but this contains all of the blank folders we will need to transfer for the root to our USB for this process. But nonetheless, assuming that you have your game of choice, your OPL Manager from the link in the description down below, this file as well from the link in the description down below, and Defraggler, there are some other things what we need to get for this process, which I'll showcase in Google Chrome. Here is the latest build as I'm recording this video. So it's December 23rd, 2019, so it's almost Christmas. But this is where you can find the latest versions of Open PlayStation 2 Loader. All you got to do is just download the latest build. Pretty simple. I will have this in the link in the description down below. Here is the actual link as well. So it's downloading now. So here you go right here. Once it pops up to your PC as well, of course you need WinRar for this. All you gotta do is drag this OPL folder right here. It will be probably in your download section. So that's all you gotta do. So here's OPL, which we're gonna be transferring over to the root of our USB. But before we even get started on transferring our files, defragging our ISOs and getting our cover art, I do want to explain about the compatibility for this. So if I go back into this second tab right here, here is the official Open PlayStation Loader or PS2 Loader game compatibility list. So for example, if you try to run any game, you want to make sure that it says your device that it can run in these type of modes. So it states that .hack infection part 1 can run off your hard drive, your USB, and also via of FMCB, which is over like a network, I think. So if I try to do Kingdom Hearts, you'll see here, since we're doing that, I'm doing actually Final Mix. So here's Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. So you see where it says USB FMCB HDD, that means it's good to go. And there's sometimes some little patch notes that may have some issues depending on your USB. So I already know that it has some stuttering issues through some cutscenes, but it's nothing major that affects the gameplay. But make sure before you go ahead and do a bunch of games, check the compatibility for your said game, and then you'll be fine for this process. I do want to note that because some games are maybe not compatible with, you know, USB methods. So for example, if you try to do, I don't know, Sega Ages, it wouldn't be, I guess, compatible via with USB. It will only work off a, you know, original hard drive. But with that being stated out the way, we downloaded OPL. I explained about the compatibility list. Let's go ahead and get started on, you know, setting up our games. First things first, let's go ahead and plug in our USB to our computer. So I already have mine right here. Let me go ahead and find it. Here is my USB that I am using for today. We need to make sure that our USB is formatted to FAT32. If it's formatted to exFAT or NTFS, we're going to be having an issue. So if I show you guys something real quick, my thing is probably going to be on exFAT, which is not good. So we basically need to reformat it. Sometimes when you use a higher gigabyte, if it's not 32 gigabytes or lower, it cannot format to FAT32 natively in Windows. So you may have to use a third-party solution. So I'll show you guys what I mean with that as well. So if I go right click, go into format, you can see that I don't have the FAT32 option. So you may be asking yourself, well, how am I supposed to do the rest of this tutorial? Well, we're going to be using another program, which I didn't mention in the intro now that I think about it, but I'll have that program in the link in the description down below. It's called Memory Partition Assistant. So all you got to do, it'll be just like a regular executable file. You'll just run it. But what a memory partition system actually does, let me go ahead and cancel this out. It will scan all of your USB drives that are currently connected onto your PC, and you're able to format it to whatever file partition you want to. So here's mine's right here. I just labeled mine's Xbox 360. If we right click over this drive, go into format partition, you can see that it's on exFAT. What we wanted to do is to FAT32. We want to go ahead and leave it as default cluster size, and just for, you know, since we're dealing with the PS2, we could just label our partition label to whatever you want. Make sure before you even do this process, you back up your data, because anytime you reformat your hard drive, it will erase all your data off your drive. So make sure to back it up either to your desktop or something like that. But as showcased here, it's already located to FAT32, but it's not fully done yet. We need to go to apply, to proceed, and hit yes via right here. So what it's doing now is formatting your full drive. So it says congratulations, all operations have been completed via MOE. So if I go ahead and X out of this right now, go to our USB drive. So let's go back into File Explorer. Let me go to, not my games, yeah, to actual hard drive right here. You can see that it's formatted to PS2. You see that I changed the label's name, and you can now see that it's on FAT32. So assuming that your thing is fully on FAT32, either if you do it in basically the Windows way, or if you did it as the actual, you know, a MOE partition way, that means you're good to go. So once you have that fully done, what you want to do now, let me drag this to the side. We want to drag this OPL folder to the root of your USB. So this open PS2 L file is the file, is basically like an eboot.bin. If you guys, it's an executable file for the PlayStation 2. So it's fairly simple on how to, you know, do this process. Just drag and drop to the root of your USB. So now you're done with that. With the USB PS2 prep.zip that I made for you guys, all you got to do is right click with WinRar, go to extract files here, go to OK, open up the files, open this folder again, and this is how your file format should be you know, showcased into this folder right here. So all you got to do is just drag it to the root of your USB, and I pre-made these files for OPL because this is the files that OPL has to read for your games and art as showcased here. So where you will basically put your games at, if your PS2 game is a CD based game, which is usually games that are under like 1 gigabyte or something like that, or you could just look at, you know, a list. I'll probably have that in link in the description down below. Most games for the PS2 is DVD, by the way, but some games may be CD based. So all you would have to do is drop your ISO into the CD part, but for today, Kingdom Hearts 2 will be going into the DVD partition. So all of your PS2 games will be going into this partition right here. But before we even get started on, you know, putting our games to the USB drive, let's go ahead and focus on one thing before we even get to that process. So right here, you can see I have my Kingdom Hearts game labeled as Kingdom Hearts 2 USA.iso. What we need to do is get the content ID or the product ID for our game. So you may be asking, how will we be getting that? There's either two methods. One way is very fast, which I'll be showing you now via with WinRar. So if you already have WinRar, you can open up ISOs, and this slush underscore 210.05 file. This is the content ID. Every game has a specific content ID depending on region. So it may say this is the American version of the game. So I don't know, Midnight Club could be, for example, SLUS underscore 125.05, whatever. Actually, I'll show you what I mean in a second, just so you guys can get a better idea. If I go into my PlayStation 2 games, let me go to my desktop real quick and I'll show you what I mean. So for example, if we were doing another game, let's do, I don't know, Crazy Frog, or I guess that ISO got corrupted. Let's do Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. So yeah, Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, as showcased here, is a Japanese title and it has a different content ID. So that's what I'm trying to showcase, that every game has a different content ID. And if you notice from this folder right here, you can see my contents of the games are labeled in a certain manner, and this is how OPL reads games off a hard drive or USB. So this is what we have to do for Kingdom Hearts 2. So if I go back into Kingdom Hearts 2, what you want to do is go ahead, double click on it, right click over this, go ahead and label copy files to clipboard. We could close this out right now. You basically want to rename the game to the actual content ID first at the prefix, and then just label it whatever the game name is. So what I mean by that is all you gotta do is hit Control V, or actually let me open up a notepad real quick. Oh, so it actually didn't paste the thing. That's fine. We could just write or type out the ID for this. So if I go here, we just gotta type in all capital letters SLUS underscore 210.05, and then let me minimize this out. All you gotta do is just copy this name, or you could just type it down here, go to rename, and this is how your games have to be. So put a period after the 2.015. So you need basically your content ID at front, your game name, title, and then basically OPL can read the game just fine. So if I go back into my PlayStation 2 emulator folder, just to compare and contrast our other games that we are basically doing for this process, so you guys will have a better idea. So let me go into my PlayStation 2 folder real quick. You can see here that my game has the content ID underscore whatever the number is dot, and then the actual title ID. So hopefully you guys understand what I'm trying to say right here. But once you have your game of choice, you have it labeled correctly, you got your USB stuff already set up, you got OPL. Now what you want to do is open up Defraggler. So go ahead, in the link in the description down below, download this Defraggler installation. Just go ahead and hit yes over that. Don't install CC cleaners, just adware, but all you got to do is just hit install for this process. So it's doing its thing. And then once Defraggler is successfully installed onto your console, I mean not your console but your PC, all you got to do is hit finish and reboot later. Now you'll get Defraggler on your PC. I already have it on my desktop before, so all I got to hit is yes. This is how the program will look. We basically have to defrag our ISO games before putting on our USB, because OPL will, if your game is fragmented, it won't run. So the easiest way on how to do this is if we go into action, defrag file, find our game of choice. So let's go to our desktop where we have our Kingdom Hearts game. So this is the game we just renamed. Go ahead and hit OK. Once it defrags, it should be already good to go. So we'll basically say defrag complete. We can just go to defrag file once again, just double check if it does it. So yeah, it says defrag complete, so it's all good to go. All we have to do now is just close out of defragmentation. Unless you're doing multiple games, just do that for each set of game. But since I'm only doing one game, just to make this tutorial faster, all we got to do now is pretty simple, is to actually open up our USB where our game will be located at. So go into File Explorer, go to the USB where we placed all of our dummy files at, and also OPL. Go into the DVD section. Go ahead and drag over Kingdom Hearts 2 with the content ID. So while that is doing this in the background, transferring over our game, let's go ahead and get some cover art. Now this part is optional, so you could go ahead and skip, but since I like to have my games look, you know, more of an official look, we're gonna go into, let me minimize this, OPL Manager. So right click, extract files here. If you have WinRar, just hit OK. It will create a folder on your desktop. Open it up. Open up OPL Manager.exe. Once you're in OPL Manager, just go ahead and hit save. For mode, just go ahead and hit normal OK. Now when it says path, you want to select a OPL folder to search and browse files from. So we're just going to go ahead and put this in OPL file manager and hit OK, save, and it will say there's no CD or DVD art folder found in OPL. Make sure this is the correct folder, so say OK, and then just go ahead and create a folder right here. Now what you want to do is basically figure out your basically through your cover art. So what we're going to do now is go into game gallery, I believe, continue, or actually let's go back out from that. What we're going to do is go into, I believe, let me see right here, game gallery. Sorry guys, I had to cut the video right here because I did have a brain fart and I honestly forgot what step I needed to do to showcase on how to basically get cover art for your game, but I did figure it out. So all you would have to do for this process, since I couldn't figure it out here, is just close out of OPL for a second. Right now you can see my game has successfully transferred over to the USB, but what we're going to do is take our game of choice, go into the OPL Manager where you have your contents located for your DVD at, and then basically where it says OPL, your DVD folder, just drag and drop your game of choice or all your games if you want your cover art from that section right here. All you would need to do is go into OPL once again. So let me open up OPL, and I do apologize, I usually on top of things, but you can see now OPL is now finding our game of choice. Now all we have to do is go to manage art, and if you want all of your OPL, basically all of the cover art, all you got to do is hit this download button right here. Just go ahead and hit OK. If you want the back art of the game, you can, the spine. So if you want screenshots, you could choose one of your choice. I'm gonna, I don't know, choose this one, whatever, I don't really care. I'm just gonna choose random ones for this process. So you could choose your disc. Your background, what we're gonna do is, oh, let me cancel, let me get a background of our game. So we could choose this one right here, and our logo, we're just gonna go ahead and copy the logo. Once it's fully done, if we go into our art section of the OPL folder, so close both of this out, go into OPL, go into art, you'll see all of your cover art, and it will have the actual game's content ID labeled. So let me actually make this larger in size, so you can see that it downloaded all of our pictures, the icon PNG, the background, the actual disc cover. All you got to do is control, or basically copy everything. So you could either scroll on your mouse just to copy everything, or hit Control A, copy. We're going to go back to our USB into the art folder, the pre-made one we made. Just go here, go into paste, and then yeah, you're basically done. So we got our cover art into our art folder, we defragged our game has the correct content ID. Now all we have to do is just plug in our PlayStation 2, or basically plug our USB into our PlayStation 2, make sure your memory card has FreeMcBoot on it, and then we're good to go. So let's go ahead and hit eject device, and now we are able to go to our PlayStation 2 and get this started on the PS2 side of things. Alrighty guys, so as showcased here, I'm basically back onto my PlayStation 2. As of right now, what you need to have is your memory card into slot 1, as well you need your USB stick in your PlayStation 2 with your game of choice in there. But what we're going to do now is go to ULaunch ELF. Make sure you just go ahead and open it up. Yours may say ULaunch ELF, USB. Mine just says HDD since I have ULaunch ELF installed on a hard drive in my PS2. But just go ahead and launch ULaunch ELF. And then once it loads up its external, or basically the HDD modules as showcased here, so it's going to load everything that's on your hard drive. What you want to do is go ahead and scroll down, go into file manager, so hit X. Yours may have to, state hit circle, so if you have to hit circle, just go through that. But what we want to do is go into math right here, which is basically our USB. If you show right here where it says OPL, we're going to go scroll down, gonna go and right click, or not right click, but hit R1 on our controller, hit X to copy. In the left hand corner it just says copy to the clipboard, so you know that this file has copied over. Sometimes it doesn't copy, so just go ahead and verify that it copied once again. Then what you want to do is go ahead and back out by hitting on those two dots right here. So go back from here, go into M0 or MC0. Once you enter MC0, aka your memory card, what you want to do is scroll all the way down to where it says boot, and then you want to go ahead and paste this file itself. I already had mine in here since I already tested this before I'm recording this video, but just wait for it to do its thing. And then once it's fully done, open PS2 ld.elf. Once it's fully copied over, what we're going to do is just go ahead and run the actual self file, or the .elf file, which is an executable for the PlayStation 2. So let's go ahead and run it. What it's going to do is boot up into OPL Open PS2 Loader, and you'll see that right now on the screen. And then the goal is to get our game running on this process. So let's go and just wait for it to do its thing. Hopefully it won't take too long. I know the PlayStation 2 sometimes takes long, but as showcased here, you see all my games on my hard drive. However, if we scroll twice over here to the USB section, you can see that our cover art is here. You can see our content ID is here. And now what we want to do is run our game. If you don't see your game in here, what you want to do is go ahead and hit menu, go into settings, make sure your USB device is on auto and your HDD device is on auto if you have any HDD games. But make sure as well you have this option on where it says check USB game fragmentation to on, and then you're good to go for this setting. So just hit OK and then save changes. So it's going to save the configuration you have set via right here. If you don't see your games, and you want to make sure that it is saved to MZ0, which is your memory card, then what you want to do is go into circle by games list, go back into your game of choice, which mine is Kingdom Hearts, and then all we're going to do is just wait for our game to load. So it may take a little second since it's loading the initial configuration, but as of right now it should be loading into Kingdom Hearts 2. What I'm going to do as well for this process, since I know Square Enix loves to flag any Kingdom Hearts music, so I'm going to definitely cut out the audio for this, but I am going to do some quick playthrough. So what I'm going to do now is just pause my voice, and as well as or not my voice, but pause the audio so y'all guys won't hear in the background. But yeah, here is the game running off my USB. I do not have the disc in my system as showcased here, but yeah, here's Kingdom Hearts 2 running just fine. Let's go ahead and start a new game. I'm just gonna run through this real quick so we won't have to deal with any side menus. I think this version of Kingdom Hearts 2 as well, I can skip through some cutscenes so I could just get into gameplay. So yeah, as showcased here, the game is running pretty much just fine. Just waiting for it to get through some cutscenes. So let me skip scene once again. But yeah, if you guys have any questions on how to do this as well, please let me know in the comment section down below. If you need any help setting up OPL. But yeah, here is Kingdom Hearts 2 running on my PlayStation 2. With that being said, my name is Nagato's Revenge, and I'm signing out. Thank you guys for watching. Peace. Hey everyone, it's me, Nagato's Revenge here. Hope you guys did enjoy today's video. With that being out the way as well, I highly do recommend that y'all guys go ahead and follow my social media so you never miss any of the latest hacking guides and tutorials on my channel. By subscribing to me and hitting that notification button as well is another method on how you will know when I drop my latest content, whether it be for the Vita, PS4, PS3, and such and so forth. As well, if you want to be in the mix of things and you want to join my official community, you can join via the link right now showcased on the screen and join my Discord that way. And if you do want to support my channel in any shape or form, you could become a patron. I will have a card right now. But with all of that getting out the way, hope you guys really did enjoy this video, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.
and silky smooth.